Hey guys, my name is Garrett McLaughlin, and today I really want to walk you through how to better manage and resolve shin splints. And shin splints is this catch-all term that refers to really any pain throughout this lower leg. And too often I get an email saying, hey, I have shin splints, what should I do? I have no idea, to be honest with you. There's so many different structures down here. Unless you're more specific, a general phrase like shin splints really gets you nowhere. So today specifically, when we talk about shin splints, we're going to talk about this posterior medial tibial pain. Again, not on the bone. We're not looking at bone pain, any irritation of the periosteum, any stress fractures or stress reactions. We're not looking at that at all. We're looking at the soft tissue directly behind the bone. So if you run your finger down there, you can find the inside of the tibia, run the finger along the inside. You'll find a few of these deep flexors, posterior tib, flexor hallucis longus, flexor dig longus. These muscles that go down through inside of this ankle and attach into the foot, and if not, into the toes. This is a common area where you'll tend to develop these tendinopathies, these overuse injuries, because again, from one reason or the other, is it lack of range of motion at the toe and the ankle? Is it not enough endurance or resilience in these tissues to again withstand the mileage that you're putting in as far as running or whatever activity you're doing? But we're going to look at a few different strategies today, specifically how to self-assess. First, let's look at range of motion. How much range of motion do we have at the big toe and the ankle? Are these two areas limited, and in turn, again, causing more stress throughout some of these soft tissue structures behind the lower leg? Then we're going to look at how much resilience do we have? Can we load this muscle? Does this muscle actually have the capacity to be loaded using, again, against your body weight through a series of repetitions? Then from there, how do we resolve these things? How do we improve range of motion? How do we improve the capacity to load the tissue? And then from there, how do we improve resiliency? How do we then jump and land and get off the ground and increase the capacity for that tissue to absorb and create force? Okay, so those are the things I'm going to walk you through in the series. Please check out 4 videos within the series. Please take a look at every single video, but today we're going to look at specifically how to self-assess the great toe and the ankle. All right, so the first thing when it comes to this posterior medial tibial pain, again through the soft tissue there, shin splints, is what actually is going on, okay? Without rushing in and going to see a provider, we always recommend, definitely would a lot of times get results a lot quicker, but we tend to become very stubborn when it comes to these overuse injuries. We want to see, hey, is this something that's going to stick around, or is it just here for a day or two or a week and it's going to resolve itself, okay? So in the meantime, again, before you make that decision, we can look at a few different areas, specifically great toe extension, ankle dorsiflexion, and looking at the endurance and the capacity of the calf, the gastroc and the soleus, okay? So what we're going to do first here, just looking at great toe extension, I like to first look at the great toe in plantar flexion. So you can see this ankle is pointed. I'm pointing my toes that way, so I'm not flexing the ankle. So what I want to do here is I'm just going to extend that great toe, and I'm going to see passively, can that great toe get to about 65 degrees of extension? Yeah, I can. Okay, for me, I really have no problem getting to that point. I have okay extension in ankle plantar flexion. Okay, so that's the first thing. Can your great toe get to about 65 degrees of extension? What we also want to do here is not just stop here, is can we pull the ankle up towards neutral, if not slightly dorsiflexed, and then from here, does our great toe extend from that position? So again, I have no problem extending in dorsiflexion, so I do not have a limitation in great toe extension. For you, if you notice, you go here, you start with the ankle pointed, you start to pull back and that great toe doesn't go too far, again goes 45, 50 degrees, this might be something that you need to address as far as mobility at the great toe. And then if you go back to about neutral to slightly dorsiflexed, if you cannot get about 10 to 15 degrees of extension, this could be an area where it could predispose you to some of this pain that you're experiencing here. Second thing we want to do is look at ankle mobility. Again, very simple drill on the wall is this dorsiflexion drill. If I step away, again, always recommend get a ruler, don't eyeball this. Too often people are off by even half an inch to an inch, which makes a huge difference with this test. But if I can slide my foot, okay, well 4 inches right there, I already have this measured out, keep my heel down on the ground, keep the integrity of my arch, and then can I lunge my knee forward to touch the wall without my heel lifting off the ground? So you can see a little harder for me to get at the end, but I can get there without that heel lifting, so I have good mobility through that right ankle. And then on this left side, again, just kind of compare, see if there's any big difference from side to side. It's always good to look at both sides. Again, maintaining the integrity of the arch, not letting it collapse, and then lunging the knee straight ahead. Again, that's key. Knee going straight ahead rather than coming in here. Going inside the big toe is often a cheat to look at if you're looking at ankle dorsiflexion. So make sure that that knee's going straight forward. You'll notice, again, if this is a positive test, if I go back to this right side and say, man, this is the right side that's hurting me, I have that shin splint pain, and I lunge my knee forward, you can see I just can't get there. It's good to get an accurate number on how far away from the wall you are. So actually get a piece of tape, mark 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch, or put a ruler down just so you can see where you are. Then I can slide in and say, okay, I'm going to try from 3 inches now. Can I touch from 3 inches? No, I'm still not there. 2. I'm close, but that heel is starting to lift up. Okay, maybe 1.5. Okay, that's where I can finally touch the wall. I know that is kind of an accurate measurement of my ankle mobility at that time. Compare that side to side. Am I also at 1.5 inches on the left side? Am I tighter? Do I have better mobility? Compare that to see where you are, because you always want to make sure you balance that left to right as much as possible first before just trying to improve ankle mobility as a whole. Okay, so are you able to lunge, keep the foot flat on the ground, touch the knee to the wall, with the toe being 4 inches from the wall? That's your second test looking at ankle mobility. Okay? From there, what we want to look at is the endurance and the loading capacity of the calf. Okay? Standardized number is 25 single leg calf raises. And as you perform this test, don't just do the test and say, yeah, I got 25. What do the quality of your reps look like? As you get to 16, does all hell break loose? Is it hard to even get full range of motion? Is that calf really locking up and starting to cramp? Start to take note of those things to see if there's any big differences from side to side, because what you may notice is that side that's injured, you're feeling the pain, could be the side that has less endurance in it. So I'm going to come here, I'm going to use the wall just to support me. I'm not going to use it to help me lift up, bringing my knee up to chest, and I'm going to go through a full calf raise on one leg. So good thing here, if you don't have someone taking a look at you from the side, have them gauge to see, hey, again, family member, friend, am I getting all the way up and am I staying consistent throughout these 25 reps? Or do I start to really lose my range of motion as I start to fatigue? Or full length mirror to the side, just take a look and see, okay, every couple of reps, I'm just going to eyeball that just to see what the difference is. Okay, now I'm really feeling it. What does that look like? Oh, okay, I'm only getting up to here now. That's a big difference. But doing 25 reps on side to side, can I get 25? Okay, if not, we know, okay, the calf lacks endurance. So I don't have that endurance. If I'm going out there and I'm running 8 to 10 miles, I can't do 25 calf raises. There's a big disconnect there. We wonder why a lot of these other muscles are overworked, fatigued, starting to develop some of these overuse tendinopathies, okay, tendinosis, doesn't matter what it is, but do I have the necessary endurance at the calf and the ankle to be successful doing whatever activity I'm doing? So those are 3 very simple self-assessments to help you, again, just really fine-tune it and see, okay, where are the specific areas that I'm limited? Because a lot of times I see people struggle from this post-tib tendinopathy, shin splints, whatever the specific diagnosis is, and immediately go to stretching, okay? Sometimes you'll realize you may not need to stretch that tissue. It might actually be increasing the resilience or the loading capacity of that tissue, which we're going to go into here in a second. But those are a couple different ways to look at and really break down what specific area do I need to address: great toe extension, ankle dorsiflexion, or just the endurance of the calf musculature itself. And hopefully this provides you a little more insight into specifically what you need to address. So stay tuned as we look at how to actually improve range of motion at the ankle in the great toe.